From the age-old telephone booths to mobile telephony, from ancient colony to free democracy, Kenya has taken a whole new direction in communication. The need for news and information now paramount in what has now become a fast-paced society hungry for knowledge. The age-old newspaper standing the test of time as the primary source of information, with editorial or political cartoons taking their place in painting the reality and situations that best explain a desired agenda. Political cartoonists have continued to shape public opinion since the mid-19th century, providing a glimpse into the political debate surrounding past, present and future events. They rely on such things as symbolism and caricature, experimenting with fresh imagery. Political cartoonists help people think about politics, but have they been able to change the face of history?
Cartoons are understood by intellectuals and the simple Kenyan.
Meet the man who every day has had a clean slate before him and that unique opportunity to sketch the country's political landscape and draw public debate since the 1980s.
In the 80s, you wouldn't even think of, forget about drawing the president, that was out.
And who traces the country's democratic journey through his pen. Paul Kelemba, popularly known as Maddo. Mid-morning at his Nairobi town office, and Paul Kelemba is already at his drawing table, sketching at another subject of public debate. 30 years since he began his career, and Paul, known famously as Maddo, understands what impact each of his caricatures has on the general public. Nothing like his first drawing before he was barely 10 years old, when he first decided that drawing was what he loved doing best.
As a tiny little kid, I drew Samson of the Bible with all muscles and his hair and all that. It was actually cut out of my book and pasted on the notice board in class, which was a great thing. I mean, being a superstar in class at that age.
Today, his drawings are posted on many more forums than just the notice board, appearing in newspapers and magazines, and allowing Maddo the unique opportunity to satirically criticize and question political situations, and especially the role of political leaders in such situations.
And we cartoonists like being critical. I mean, I tell you honestly, it's difficult to draw a politician initiating a bridge project. It's difficult. I mean, I'd rather attack that politician for not building that bridge.
But such freedom wasn't a luxury a few years back.
In the days of Kanu and Daniel Arap Moi, things also began changing. I mean, you could not touch Moi in 1990, 91, and parts of 92. But then in 92 we started drawing him. I mean, I did one of the first cartoons of the man.
Criticizing leaders was unheard of, and for Maddo, who then worked for the Nation newspaper, it was a risk that sometimes bore dire consequences.
Now this is around the time again that Whispers was caught. They came to Nation. I just asked Whispers for 20 bob. It was a lot of money then. He said, okay, I'm going to give it to you in a moment. He was called downstairs, and we never saw him again for the next 15 months. They took him. There was no trial, or at least there were those sham trials of lasting 15 minutes at 5 p.m. in the evening. So they took him away, and the rest of us were scared. There were cops all over the place. They used to listen to what people are saying, and people like us were targets, you know.
Maddo was a close friend to the late Wahome Mutahi, illustrating his weekly column Whispers and exchanging ideas with him. His unfortunate incarceration dampening his spirit, but never his will. And so he treaded farther, attempting to draw the then President Moi again.
The editor, he kind of, he got scared, and he had the guts, yes, but he got scared and didn't come on duty that time. But it was testing the waters, because there was no reaction from Kanu and Moi himself. Kabisa, I mean, we were all surprised.
And so it began, a revolution through the pen, through caricature.
We could not really depict Moi in a bad way. So we started slowly. I mean, I'd still I'd put a cap on him and call him champ, you know, to cool down my editor, you know, I mean, let it through. Gadu, around that time, 92, 93, I'd also joined our fraternity here. So he also contributed to, you know, breaking that taboo and drawing Moi. By 1997, we had we are now having fun with him. By obviously in the year 2002, he was now actually becoming a boring subject. It was no longer like, oh, you've drawn Moi. I mean, it was a normal thing.
The journey of editorial cartoons in Kenya progressing side by side with the growth of democracy in the country. People were now thinking and talking about politics, about their leaders and what they expected of them. For Maddo, it is the outcome of his illustrations, his pen providing the much-needed voice for many and keeping both society and its leaders in check. And what about the discerning public opinion? Has he ever drawn a controversial illustration?
There was a time that I did, there's a singer from the Caribbean called Yellow Man. He came here, performed, he had albinism, but nonetheless he was a star. So I drew him in the newspaper, then had this caption, rather guy saying that if you want to be like him, you know, for us Kenyans who like copying people, if you want to be like him, just go and wash yourself in sulfuric acid. You know, that was bad.
Maddo's column, Mad World, has been carried in the paper for a straight 23 years now, with technology allowing this renowned cartoonist an even bigger audience on the web, allowing him to tread outside editorial content.
When I do my column, Mad World, it's a lot more different from an editorial cartoon because I can say a lot. I back up my drawings also with some written anecdotes and opinions and speech balloons.
For this husband and father of 3 children, whom he fondly refers to in his columns as Madlets and Maddo Jr., he hopes that he has in his lifetime inked down enough illustrations to bring forth the much-needed change for his children as well as generations to come. Evelyn Wambui for Newsmakers.